Hello, good day, viewers. Today we are going to start solving NECO 2024 Mathematics Examination Theory questions. Question number 1, we are asked to solve this system of equations 4a plus 12b equal to 16, and second equation is 2a plus 3b equal to 7, and hence we are asked to find the possible values of k given that a plus b is equal to k squared. Alright, let us begin with the system of equations. So here are our equations. Let me call this one equation number 1 and call this equation number 2. So I would like to apply elimination method. So I think let us multiply equation number 2 by 2, because once we do that, this will become 4. So we have 4 e's from the first terms. So the first equation remains the same, 4a plus 12b, and this is equal to 16. But all other terms in the second equation will change, because 2a times 2 will give us 4a plus 3b times 2 will give us 6b, and this is equal to 7 multiplied by 2, which is 14. So I would like to subtract this equation from the other one. 4a minus 4a will give us 0. 12b minus 6b will give us 6b, and this is equal to 16 minus 14 is equal to 2. To find the value of b, we are going to divide both sides by 6. Therefore, b is equal to 2 divided by 6, which to the lowest term can be written as 1 divided by 3, because 2 can divide itself one time and it can divide 6 exactly 3 times. So we have gotten the value of b. We can plug it into either of these equations. Let me use this one, where we have 2a plus 3b equal to 7. So from equation 2, we have 2a plus 3b is equal to 7. But we have seen that b is equal to 1 divided by 3. So we have 2a plus 3 multiplied by 1 divided by 3, right? This is equal to 7. 2a plus, this will give us 1 equals 7. You can take this one to the other side. We have 2a equals 7 minus 1. 2a is equal to 6. Then we divide both sides by 2, right? So a will be equal to 6 divided by 2, and a equal to 3. So you can see that a, b, the values are what? 3 and 1 over 3. And we are done with that part. But hence, we are asked to find the values of k given that a plus b is equal to k squared, right? But a is 3, b is what? 1 divided by 3. This is equal to what? K squared. We are looking for k here. So let's simplify this first. You take 3, you multiply by 3, that will give us 9. Then plus 1, that will give us 10. So altogether, we have 10 divided by 3. And this is equal to k squared. To find k, we can take square root of both sides. Therefore, k is equal to plus or minus the square root of what? 10 divided by 3. And this is said to be the solution to this problem. But you can be more professional by writing it in standard form. So this is the same thing as plus or minus the square root of 10 divided by square root of 3. But we don't want the bottom to be irrational. Therefore, we can rationalize the denominator by multiplying the top and the bottom by square root of 3. So let's do that. So we multiply the top by square root of 3. We do the same thing to the bottom. You know, this is the same thing as 1. So multiplying anything by 1 will not change it. So this is equal to plus or minus square root of 10 times square root of 3 will give us square root of 30. Divide by square root of 3 times square root of 3 is square root of 3 squared, which is equal to 3. And hence the values of k are plus or minus square root of 30 divided by 3. If you like, you can split it into k equal to square root of 30 divided by 3, or k equal to negative square root of 30 divided by 3. And hence this is said to be the solution to problem number 1. Here is question number 2 of NECO 2024 Mathematics Examination Theory questions. And the A part of question number 2 reads, The fourth and the seventh terms of geometric progression are 8 and 64 divided by 27 respectively. Roman 1, we asked to find the common ratio. And Roman 2, we asked to find the first term. Then the B part of question number 2 reads, express 4, 2, 3, 1 in base 5 in denary. And denary means what? Base 10. All right, let's get started. So the A part, Roman 1, we are talking about finding the common ratio, right? But we know that every single term in geometric progression is given by Tn equal to a r raised to the power of n minus 1. So we have two terms given to us. I would like to start with the bigger term, which is term number 7. So T7 is equal to a r raised to the power of 7 minus 1, which is 6, right? Well, it's already given as what? Term number 7 is given as 64 divided by 27. So this is 64 divided by 27. And we are also given term number 4, which is equal to a r raised to the power of 4 minus 1, which is 3. And this is equal to, from the question, it is equal to 8. All right, this is our first equation, and this is our second equation. Remember, these are theory questions, so we have to show our workings and explain in detail. So we can say that equation number 1 divided by equation number 2. So this would be a r raised to the power of 6 divided by a r raised to the power of 3. This is equal to, since this is a fraction, I can use this form, which is 64 divided by 27. Then I use this division sign all the same, divided by 8. So a here will cancel a, and according to one of the laws of indices, since these are all having the same basis r, we can take a single r and subtract the exponents. 6 minus 3 is 3. This is equal to, we can change this to multiplication and take reciprocal of this. So this is 64 divided by 27 multiplied by 1 divided by 8. But we know that 8 can divide itself exactly 1 time, and it can divide 64 exactly 8 times, right? So all we have is equal to 8 divided by 27. So to find the value of r, we can take cube root of both sides. Therefore, r is equal to the cube root of 8 divided by 27. And we know that cube root of 8 is 2 and cube root of 27 is 3. And finally, r is equal to 2 divided by 3. As simple as that. Now moving on to Roman 2 of A part, where we asked to find the first term. So A Roman 2, we are looking for the first term. But we have seen that I can use this particular equation number 2, which is this one, right? AR to the power of 3 is equal to 8. AR to the power of 3 is equal to 8, which means that A, which we are looking for, is equal to 8 divided by r to the power of 3. So let us plug in r to the power of 3. I don't have to use this one because I know we have r to the power of 3 right here. Look at it here. It is equal to 8 divided by 27. So RA is equal to 8 divided by 27. So 8 multiplied by 27 divided by 8. Right? If you change this to multiplication, then you have to take reciprocal of this. You can see that 8 and 8 will cancel, and definitely the first term is equal to 27. As simple as that. We are done with question number 2A. Then the B part, we ask to change this number into base 10. So let me just copy this question. All right. We take the number which is 4, 2, 3, 1 in base 5, and we would like to convert it into base 10. Take the first digit here, which is 4, then multiply by the base, which is 5, right? Then you add, take the second one, which is 2, multiply by its base, which is 5, plus take the third one, 3, multiply by its base, plus the last one, which is 1, multiplied by its base. Then you assign index 0, 1, 2, 3. Then you simplify and get your final answer. 5 raised to the power of 3 is 125. 125 multiplied by 4 is 500. So this is 500 plus 5 raised to the power of 2 is 25. 25 multiplied by 2 is 50. Plus 5 to the power of 1 is 5 multiplied by 3 is 15. And lastly, 5 to the power of 0 is 1. And 1 multiplied by 1 is still 1. And 500 plus 50, that is 550. Plus 15, that is 565. Plus 1, that is 566. So we have 566 in base 10, which is equivalent to 4231 in base 5. And this is said to be the solution to this problem. And the A part of question number 3 reads, the vertices of a triangle PQR are, you can see them right here, with their respective coordinates. We're asked to find the equation of the line PQ and the equation of the line QR. Then the B part of question number 3 reads, the interior angles of a hexagon are x plus 5 degrees, 2x plus 4 degrees, x plus 10 degrees, 2x plus 2 degrees, 3x plus 2 degrees, and x plus 15 degrees. And we asked to find the value of x. All right, let's get started. I have already constructed my triangle PQR with the corresponding coordinates. We're asked to find the equation of the line PQ. So we're going to start with PQ. So let me mark it. We want to start with this one. So Roman 1. Equation of the line, let me use point slope form. So we have y minus y1 equals m multiplied by x minus x1. But we have to find m, which is the slope. So m is equal to y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So you would like to decide which one should be x1 and x2. Okay, let me call this one x1. Let's call this one y1. Let's call this x2. Let's call this y2. So to substitute, we are going to take 8 minus 3 divided by negative 3 minus 4. So this is equal to 8 minus 3 divided by negative 3 minus 4. 8 minus 3 is 5. And negative 3, negative 4 is negative 7. So it means that our slope is negative 5 divided by 7. M is equal to negative 5 divided by 7. So now let us plug this into our equation. We have y minus y1, but remember that y1 is 3. So we have minus 3 equal to m, which is the slope, negative 5 divided by 7, multiplied by x minus x1. x1 is 4. Then I would like to multiply every single term by 7 just to clear this fraction. So y times 7 is 7y, minus 3 times 7 is 21. This is equal to, this times 7 will give us just negative 5. And we're going to use that negative 5 to expand the bracket here. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. Then negative 5 times negative 4 is positive 20. So let's take the variables to the left and constants to the right hand side. So 7y here. As this crosses over, it becomes positive 5x. And this is equal to 20 is there already. Once this crosses over, it becomes positive 21. So finally, our equation of the line is 7y plus 5x equals 41. Then Roman number 2, we're asked to find the equation of the line QR. Roman 2, we use the same equation, y minus y1 equal to mx minus x1. Let's find the slope, which is m equals y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So we're looking for QR, right? This one. Already this is x1, y1, so this should be x2, y2. This implies that 2 minus 3 divided by 1 minus 4. 2 minus 3, 1 minus 4. This will be 1 over 3 because the negatives will cancel. So it means that, let me just write it. This is -1, this is -3. So if you divide, m will be 1 divided by 3. So let's plug everything. We have y minus, what is y1? y1 is 3 and x1 is 4. So this is minus 3 equal to 1 over 3 x minus 4. So let's multiply every single term by 3 just to clear this fraction. We have 3y minus 9 equals x minus 4. We take this one to the other side and we take -9 to the other side. We have 3y minus x equals, as -9 crosses over, it becomes +9, then minus 4. Finally, 3y minus x equals 5. And this is the equation of the line that passes through the point QR. And that's all about E part. Let's move to the B part. Let me just copy the question. So here is the B part. We're asked to find the value of x, given that all of these are the interior angles of a hexagon. Remember that the sum of all the interior angles of a hexagon equals 720 degrees. 720 degrees. But suppose you don't know, you can say that sum of interior angles is equal to n minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees. N here stands for the number of interior angles, which is equal to 6. So this is 6 minus 2 multiplied by 180 degrees. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 multiplied by 180 is 720 degrees. Therefore, the sum of all the interior angles equals 720 degrees. So we can add all of this together and set them to be equal to 720. So let's do that. The first one is x plus 5. So we have x plus 5, then plus the second one, which is 2x plus 4, then plus x plus 10, then plus 2x plus 2, then plus 3x plus 2, then lastly we have plus x plus 15, all together equals 720. Let us collect the like terms. I can see x plus 2x, that will give us 3x, plus another x, that is 4x, plus 2x, that is 6x, plus 3, that is 9x, plus 1, that is 10x's altogether. So we have 10x's plus, then the constants, 5 plus 4 is 9, 9 plus 10 is 19, 19 plus 2 is 21, 21, this is 23, 23, this is 38, 38, and this is equal to 720. So we take 38 to the other side, leaving 10x to the left. This is equal to 720 minus 38, and 720 minus 38 is 682. So this is 682. We have 10x here, and finally, to find the value of x, we divide both sides by 10. This is 682 divided by 10, and x would be equal to 68.2 exactly. So this is the value of x. Here is question number 4. Given the following set of numbers 2, 6, 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, we are asked to calculate Roman 1, the mean deviation and the standard deviation. All right, let's start with the first one. We would like to compute for mean deviation. Mean deviation is equal to the summation of the absolute deviation from the mean, right? That is the summation of the absolute value of xi's, all of these are x1, 2, 3 up to xn, minus the mean divided by n, that is number of items. So here we mean this is x1, x2, x3 up to xn. We are going to plug them here, but before then, we have to compute for the mean. And the mean is equal to the summation of xi's divided by n, meaning we should add all the items and divide by their number. So this will be equal to, we have 2, 6, 9, 8, 2, 6, 9, 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 7, 9, 8, 7, then divide by their number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are 8 in number. Divide by 8. And if you add all of these numbers together, you're going to get 56. Divide by 8. And if you divide 56 by 8, you're going to get 7 exactly. So therefore, x bar is equal to 7. So we need to plug in x bar and xi's into this formula. Let me recopy it again. So here's our formula. We take the first number, subtract the mean, then take absolute value, you add. That's exactly how we're going to do that. So the first number was 2, then minus the mean, which is 7 in an absolute form, plus the second number, 2, 6, 9, 8. The second number is 6, minus the mean, plus 9, minus the mean, plus 8, 7, 9, 8, 7, 9. Let me continue down here, plus 8 and 7, divide by n, and n is 8. All right, this is equal to 2 minus 7 will give us what? Negative 5, but absolute value of negative 5 is 5, plus 6 minus 7 is negative 1, absolute value of negative 1 is 1, plus 9 minus 7 is 2, absolute value of 2 is 2, plus 8 minus 7 is 1, absolute value of 1 is 1, plus 7 minus 7 is 0, absolute value of 0 is 0, plus 9 minus 7 is 2, absolute value of 2 is 2, plus divide by 8. And if you add all of these numbers together, you're going to get 12 divided by 8, and 12 divided by 8 is 1.5. So therefore the mean deviation is 1.5. We are done with the first part. Then we need to compute for standard deviation. Standard deviation is equal to the square root of summation of xi's minus x bar whole squared divided by n. Already we have computed for xi's minus x bar. All we have to do is to square them. So this is equal to the square root of the first one squared, that is 5 squared, plus 1 squared, plus 2 squared, plus 1 squared, 5 squared, plus 1 squared, plus 2 squared, plus 1 squared plus 0 squared plus 2 squared plus 1 squared plus 0 squared. Divide by n, which is 8, right? So I have squared all of these numbers because that is just the difference between them, then including the square root. So this is equal to 5 squared, which is 25, plus 1 squared 1, plus 2 squared 4, plus 1 squared 1, plus 0 squared 0, plus 2 squared 4, plus 1 plus 0, divide by 8, all under square root. And if you add all of these numbers together, you're going to get 36 divided by 8 under square root, and 36 divided by 8 is 4.5, and the square root of 4.5 is 2.12 in 2 decimal places, 2.12, and hence this is the standard deviation. And we have just answered question number 4. Here is question number 5, and question number 5a reads, if y is equal to 3x cubed plus 2x squared plus 1 multiplied by 3x squared plus 4, we asked to find the first derivative, that is dy over dx. And the b part reads, given that sine of x plus 30 degrees is equal to cosine of 2x plus 33 degrees, we asked to find the value of x. All right, let's get started. For the first one, there are 2 different ways to tackle this problem. You can either multiply the 2 factors or apply product rule. But for simplicity, I'm going to expand this. So let me just copy the question. All right, to expand this, we're going to say that y is equal to, you take 3x squared, you multiply by 3x cubed. That's going to give us 9x to the power of 5. Then you take 3x squared again, multiply by 2x squared. That will give us 6x to the power of 4. Then lastly, 3x squared times 1 is still 3x squared. Then you take the second term, which is 4, multiply by 3x cubed. That is going to give us 12x cubed. 4 multiplied by 2x squared. That's going to give us 8x squared. And finally 4 multiplied by 1, which is 4. Then let us collect the like terms. Y is equal to 9x to the power of 5 plus 6x to the power of 4. And we can write this one, right? That is 12x cubed. And just with power of 2, we have 2 of them here. If you add, you're going to get 11. So we have plus 11x squared. Then finally, we have our constant 4. So dy over dx is equal to 5 multiplied by 9 will give us 45. You reduce the exponent by 1, it becomes 4. So this is x to the power of 4 plus 4 multiplied by 6, that is going to give us 24. You reduce the exponent by 1, it becomes 3 plus this multiplied by this, that will give us 36. X to the power of 2 plus 2 multiplied by 11, that is going to give us 22. X to the power of 1, which you don't have to write, and derivative of constant is 0. Therefore, this is the first derivative. We are done with the A part. Then the B part, let me just copy the question here. So the B part, we are asked to find the value of x, given that sine of x plus 30 degrees is equal to cosine of 2x plus 33 degrees. So if you are an international student, I'm sorry, because I know this question has infinitely many solutions, but I have to apply the marking scheme of our country. So remember that sine of x is always equal to cosine of y if and only if x plus y is equal to 90 degrees. This is the only condition. But if the sum is not equal to 90 degrees, it is not applicable, right? So this implies that the arguments here, their sum must be equal to 90 degrees. So this implies that x plus 30 degrees plus 2x plus 33 degrees must be equal to 90 degrees, right? X plus 2x, that will going to give us 3x plus 30 plus 33, that is going to give us 63, and this is equal to 90 degrees. 3x equals 90 degrees minus 63 degrees, and 3x equals 27 degrees, and x finally equal to 27 divided by 3, and once you divide, you're going to get 9 exactly. So the value of x is 9. Here is question number 6, and question number 6a reads, use mathematical tables to evaluate the fourth root of 4000 multiplied by 75.9 whole divided by 5.61 multiplied by 4.39. And the B part, express 4553, which is a number in base 6, in base 3. All right, let's get started. Let me copy the first question. All right, so here is the first question. We are asked to evaluate this numerical expression. What you should know is that this expression can easily be simplified using your calculator. You can just press fourth root of this, multiply by this, divide by this, multiply by this. You understand? But they do not want you to do this. Instead, you have to apply logarithmic table. And that logarithmic table is what is considered as mathematical table. But I do not have that table at the moment. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can bypass that logarithmic table and the examiner will not notice it. All right. First of all, let me use my calculator and evaluate this. According to my calculator, the solution to this problem is 24.50921. This is what I got from my calculator. But let me show you how you can work it out and bypass that logarithmic table. First of all, I would like to let x to be equal to the whole of this expression. Let me just copy it. This is the first step. But since they want us to apply logarithm, we are going to take log of both sides. So I have log of x to be equal to log of the whole of this. Let me copy it as well. All right, this is what we have. But let me remind you one of the laws of logarithm, which stated that log of xy is equal to log of x plus log of y. And log of x divided by y is equal to log of x minus log of y. So we are going to apply the same principle here because you can see we have multiplication, we equally have division. So where we have multiplication, it is going to be transformed to positive sign, and where we have division, it transformed to negative sign. So we have log of x to be equal to, and you should know that this is the same thing as what? 4000 to the power of 1 over 4. So this is log of 4000 to the power of 1 over 4. Then instead of this, we have addition plus log of 75.9. Then we have this division. It is going to transform to negative sign, but we have a bracket here, log of 5.61 plus log of 4.39. So this negative sign will affect the 2 times inside. So we have log of x to be equal to, remember, according to one of the laws of logarithm, this exponent can drop down to multiply. So we have 1 over 4 multiplied by log of 4000, then plus log of 75.9, then minus log of 5.61, then minus, because the minus will affect the 2 times, log of 4.39. So we are good to go. So we have numbers here and we have logarithms here. So what are the numbers? Let me start with this one, which is 4,000. So we need to find log of 4,000. But remember, after finding log of 4,000, you have to divide by 4, right? Because this is 1 over 4 multiplied by log of 4,000. But first of all, let us find log of 4,000. And how can you find it? Remember that log of a number is a combination of what? Characteristics plus the mantissa of that number. So let's start with the characteristics. What is the characteristics of 4,000? It is what? The power of 10 when the number is transformed into its standard form. To change this number to standard form, you have to migrate decimal point, which is naturally here, after the first significant number. So 1, 2, 3. So we have 4 multiplied by 10 to the power of 3. So this 3 here is the characteristics. So I will not be doing all of this. So I'm going to write 3 here, point. Then how can we obtain the mantissa? That is what you have to obtain on the logarithmic table, but I do not have one. So let me show you how to do that. Just take your calculator and press log of 4,000. So we have log of 4,000. It is going to give us 3.6020599, but you should write numbers after decimal point. Forget about that whole number because we already have it here. So we have 602059, but I want to show you something. You only need the first 4 digits, so you have to round it up. So you can see that this is our 4th digit, but the next digit is 5, so we have to round this off to 1. You see that? Then remember that this is the log of 4,000. After getting log of 4,000, you have to divide it by 4. So we're going to multiply this by 1 over 4. I know that 4 into 3 is 0 because it cannot go. Then you add your point, you join 3 and 6 together, you divide by 4, you get 9. You move further, 4 into 0 is 0. 4 into 2 is 0. You join the two numbers together. 4 into 21 is 5. Then you stop. So we are done with 1 over 4 log of 4,000. Then we move to the next number, which is 75.9. 75.9. What is the characteristic of this number? Once you take this decimal point backward once, that is going to be our characteristics point. Then take your calculator, press log of the whole of this number. Don't mind the decimal point. Just take the whole of log of 759. You're going to get 2.8802417758 and so on. But I told you we only need the first 4 digits after decimal point, and we have to round it up. So we have 8802. The next digit is 4, so we don't have to round this up. We leave it like this. But remember that the relationship between the first and the second logs is what? Addition. Therefore, we are going to add the 2 together. So we add 5 plus 2 is going to give us 7. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 8 is 8. And 9 plus 8 is 17. We have 1 left over. 0 plus 1 is 1. Plus that 1, we have 2. So this is what we have. Then we move to the next one, which is this one. 5.61. 5.61. The characteristics is 0 because the number is already in standard form. We need the decimal point to be right here, but it is already there. Therefore, the characteristics is 0 point. The mantissa, just press log of 561. Log of 561 is 2.748962 and so on. But we need the first 4 digits after decimal point. So we have 7, 4, 8, 9, 6. Oh, we need the first 4, right? So since this one is after 5 and go greater than 5, we round it up. So once you add 1 to 9, it becomes 10. You take 1 to this number, it becomes 9. So altogether we have 7490. You see that? But remember, we have subtraction here. This time around, we're going to subtract. So we subtract. 7 minus 0 is 7. We have 0 here. Once you borrow 1, it becomes 10. And 10 minus 9 is 1. We have 7 here left. And that 7 minus 4 is 3. Then 7 minus 7 is 0. 2 minus 0 is 2. You see what we have? Then the last one, which is 4.39. 4.39. The characteristics is 0 point. The mantissa, just take log of 439. Log of 439 is 2.642464 and so on, but we need the first 4 digits after a decimal point. We have 6, we have 4, we have 2, we have 4 again, but the next one is 6, therefore we round this to 5. All right, again, remember we have subtraction here, so we subtract. 7 minus 5 is 2. We have 1 here minus 2. You have to borrow 1 to become 11. And 11 minus 2 is 9. Here we have 2 left, right? So you have to borrow 1 from here. You bring it here, it becomes 10. You borrow 1 from 10, it becomes 9. You bring it to 2, it becomes 12. And 12 minus 4 is 8. We have 9 here left. Minus 6 is 3. We have 1 here left. Minus 0 is still 1. So this is what we have. You should know that the whole of this is what? Log of x. Log of x is 1.3892. But remember, we are looking for x, not log of x. Therefore, we have to take antilog, right? Therefore, x is equal to antilog of 1.3892, or you can say log inverse, right? So we're going to form another table here. Number antilog. Our number is 1.3892, and we are going to take antilog of this. Remember, we don't have logarithmic table, but in the logarithmic table, if you want to find antilog, you have to take from point something, that is 0.3892. But we are going to use our calculator, and we know that antilog is just 10 to the power of that number, which is 0.3892, right? This is the antilog. You pretend as if you have logarithmic table, but whatever you obtain, you should round it up. We only need the first 4 digits. This is 2.450 because we need the first 4 digits. Then multiplied by 10 raised to the power of this 1. If it is 2, raised to the power of 2, but since it is 1, raised to the power of 1. And this 10 to the power of 1 is still 10, and 10 multiplied by this number will shift the decimal point forward once. So it becomes what? 24.50. And hence, the whole of this concocted expression, according to the log table, it is equal to 24.50. So let me check my solution from the calculator. I think they are almost exact. Look at it here. We have 24.509 to 1 from the calculator, but according to the log table, we have 24.50, as simple as that. So we're done with this question. Let us move to the next one, which is the B part. All right, this is the B part. We are asked to express this number into base 3. To do that, you have to first of all convert this number into base 10. And how can we do that? To convert this number into base 10, we take 4553, which is a number in base 6. This is equal to the first digit 4 multiplied by the base plus the second digit 5 multiplied by the base plus 5 multiplied by the base plus the last one multiplied by the base. You assign index 0, 1, 2, 3. You should make sure that you are assigning the index on the bases. All right, let us simplify. You first of all take 6 to the power of 3, which is the same thing as 6 times 6 times 6. That will give us 216. Then you multiply it by 4. Once you multiply by 4, that will give us 864. So this is 864 plus, you move to the next one. We have 6 squared, which is 36. Then you multiply by 5. That will give us 180 plus 6 to the power of 1 is still 6 times 5 is 30. Then plus 6 to the power of 0 is 1 times 3 is still 3. If you add all of these numbers together, you're going to get 1077. So this is the number 4553 in base 6. It is now converted to base 10. So finally, you take the number which is in base 10 and convert it to base 3. And how can we do that? We are going to perform a successive division of this number, 1077, by what? 3. Successive one. So once you divide this one by 3, you have 359 without any remainder. Then you take 3, you plug it into this again. You're going to get 119 with a remainder of 2. You do the same thing. 3 into 119, that's going to give us 39 with remainder of 2. Take 3, plug it into 39, you're going to get 13 without remainder. Then plug in 3 again into 13, you have 4 with a remainder of 1. Then you take 3, you plug it into 4, that will be 1 with a remainder of 1. So 3 can no longer go into 1. Then you take these numbers, starting from this one, you move this way to this one again. So let me copy them. We have 1, 1, 1, 0, 2, 2, 0. This is in base 3. So this is the number 1077. But this number is again equal to the previous one, which is this one in base 6. So let me copy this one. So this implies that this particular number is equal to 1110220 in base 3. As simple as that. Don't mistake this one with 6. It is base 6. Let me drop it down a little bit. So this is that. Here is question number 7. And question number 7 comprises A and B parts. So let's start with the A part. So the A part, we are asked to solve the equation 19 divided by 12 minus 3 divided by 4 multiplied by x minus 4 equal to 5 divided by 6. Before you start solving this question, you should know that x can never be equal to 4. Why? Because if x is 4, we have 4 minus 4 here, which is 0. 0 times 4 is still 0. And we don't want any situation that will make a denominator to be equal to 0. And hence, x can never be equal to 4. All right. And I would like to take this term to the other side and bring this one backward. So we have 19 divided by 12 to the left. As this crosses over, it becomes negative 5 divided by 6. As this crosses over, it becomes positive 3 divided by 4 multiplied by x minus 4. All right, let me simplify the left-hand side. The LCM of these two numbers is 12. So we have 12 right here. 12 into 12 exactly one time, and that one multiplied by 19 is 19. Then minus sign here. 6 into 12 exactly 2 times, and 2 multiplied by 5 is 10. This is equal to 3 divided by 4 multiplied by x minus 4. All right. 19 minus 10 is 9 divided by 12 equals 3 divided by 4 multiplied by x minus 4. And you can see that 3 can divide 9 exactly 3 times, and 3 can divide 12 exactly 4 times. So we have 3 divided by 4 equals 3 divided by 4 multiplied by x minus 4. All right. From here, we can cross multiply. We take this, you multiply by the whole of this. 3 multiplied by 4 bracket x minus 4 equals 4 multiplied by 3, which is the same thing as 3 multiplied by 4, right? So you can see that you can directly divide both sides by 3 multiplied by 4. So that this and this will cancel. We only have x minus 4 to the left, and this is equal to 1, right? Because they are exactly the same. So as you take this one to the other side, it becomes positive. So x equals 4 plus 1. And finally, x equals 5. And 5 is said to be the solution to this problem. Now let us move on to the B part, which is under partial variation. So here is the B part of question number 7, which reads, the cost of transportation is partly constant and partly varies as distance covered. The cost is 1,025 naira when 220 kilometers is covered, and the cost also is 1,345 when 300 kilometers is covered. If the distance between Lagos and Kaduna is 982 kilometers, we are asked to find the cost of the transportation, that is from Lagos to Kaduna. All right, let me use C for the cost. It is what? Partly constant. So let me use that constant of proportionality to be K. And what? Partly varies as the distance covered. So let me use D for the distance. And you know we have to attach a constant multiple. So let me call that constant multiple maybe M. Then D, that is the distance. So this is the formula. So let us substitute the two information given to us. The first one is when the cost is 1,025. So let me write it here for C. 1,025 equals the key, remain there, plus, then the distance covered will be what? 220 kilometers. So D is 220. You multiply by M, you have 220 M, our first equation. The second information here, we have a cost of what? 1,345. 1,345. This is equal to K plus the distance covered is 300 multiplied by M. So we have 300 M, our second equation. So we can simply say that equation 2, because it is bigger, minus equation 1. So we take the constants, that is 1,345 minus 1,025. That will give us exactly 320 equals K minus K is 0. Then 300M minus 220M, that will give us 80M. So to find M, we can divide both sides by 80. That is 320 divided by 80. And once you do that, M will be equal to 4. So we have obtained the value of M. We can plug the value of M into either equation 1 or equation 2. So let's put it in equation 2, all the same. So we're going to plug in M equal to 4 in equation 2, and equation 2 is 1,345. Let me copy that. So this is equation number 2. We are going to plug in M equal to 4. So this is 1,345 equals K plus 300 multiplied by M, which is 4. This is 1,345 equals K plus 1,200. Then to find the value of K, we're going to subtract 1,200 on both sides. So this is 1,345 minus 1,200. And K is equal to 145. 145. All right, we have obtained the value of K and M. These are our constants. Remember, the general equation C is equal to K plus MD. What are we looking for? We are looking for the total cost of the transportation from Lagos to Kaduna, which is 982 kilometers. So let's plug in 982 kilometers here. The cost will be K, and K is 145 plus M, which is 4, multiplied by 982, which is the distance from Lagos to Kaduna. This is equal to 145 plus 4 multiplied by 982. That will give us 3,928. Once you add these two numbers together, you have the total cost of 4,073 naira. So this is the cost of the transportation from Lagos to Kaduna. Here is question number 8. And question number 8 reads, a cone has a radius of 10 cm and a slant height of 26 cm. We're asked to find the total surface area correct to 1 decimal place, the volume of the cone correct to 2 decimal places, and lastly, angle of the sector that form the cone correct to the nearest degree. Alright, let's get started. I have already constructed my cone here. You can see the cone here. The slanted height is 26 cm. The radius of the cone is 10 cm. The height is unknown, so we can find the height. Let me start by finding the height. You can see that this is a right angle triangle, so we can apply Pythagoras rule to find the value of h. This is the hypotenuse. We can consider this one to be the adjacent and this to be the opposite. So we say that the opposite squared is equal to the hypotenuse squared minus the adjacent squared. H squared is equal to 26 squared is 676 minus 10 squared is 100. This is 576. And finally, we take square root of both sides. And square root of 576 is 24. And therefore, the height of this cone is 24 cm. So let's start by finding the first one, which is the total surface area. Total surface area comprises of two parts. The bottom, which is a circle, that is pi r squared, plus then the curved surface, which is pi rl. Pi rl. You can see that we have pi r in common, so we can minimize the formula. Pi r outside, inside we have r plus l. So let us substitute. Remember, in Nigeria, we commonly use 22 divided by 7 whenever the pi is not given from the question. So this is 22 divided by 7 multiplied by the radius, which is 10 cm, then multiplied by r, which is also radius, plus l, which is 26. That is the slanted height. This is equal to 22 times 10 is 220 divided by 7 multiplied by, this is 36, right? So we have 36 right here. And if you multiply 36 by 220, you shall obtain 7,920. 7,920 divided by 7. If you divide, you're going to obtain 1,131.4 cm squared. That is what? To 1 decimal place. We are done with the first one, and the second question here stated that we should find the volume to 2 decimal places. So what is volume? Volume of a cone is given as 1 divided by 3 multiplied by pi r squared h. This is equal to 1 divided by 3. Pi is 22 divided by 7. R is 10 squared. Then h is 24 according to this computation, right? You can see that it is 24. So let's evaluate. 1 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 100, because 10 squared is 100, then multiplied by 24. Altogether, this will be 52,800. Then we divide by 3 multiplied by 7, which is 21. And if you divide this, you're going to get 2,514.2857 and so on. But this set in 2 decimal places. So this will be 2514.29 cm cubed. You can even write it here in 2 decimal places. All right, then the last question here, it stated that we should find the angle of the sector that form the cone. Number 3, if you are given a cone and you are asked to find the angle of the sector that form that cone, the angle theta is always equal to r, which is the radius of that cone, divided by the slant height, then multiply by 360 degrees. I think I'm going to record a video to explain how we derive this formula. It is very important. So theta is equal to the radius, which is 10, divided by the slanted height, which is 26, then multiply by 360 degrees. Remember, they said correct to the nearest degree. So if you multiply this, you have 3600 divided by 26. And if you divide, you have to get 138.46 and something else. But to the nearest degree, this is equal to 138 degrees. As simple as that. So we have answered question number 8 successfully. Here is question number 9. And question number 9 reads, the 9th term of an arithmetic progression sequence is 61, while the 21st term is 145. We are asked to find the sum of the first 48 terms. While the B part of question 9, we are asked to evaluate this definite integral of the function 2 over 3 x squared plus 5 with respect to x. All right, let's get started. To solve this problem, let us write the data first. Term number 9, T9 is given. Remember, if you want to find term number 9, or let me say every single term, Tn, is equal to A plus n minus 1 multiplied by d for every single term. So what about term number 9? That is T9, for which n is equal to 9. This is equal to A, the first term, plus n, which is 9, minus 1, which is 8, multiplied by d. So term number 9 is equivalent to the first term plus 8 multiples of the common difference, because d is the common difference here. They said that this is equal to 61. So this is 61. We have our first equation. Then term number what? 21 is given as what? A plus 21 minus 1 is 20 multiplied by d. This is equal to 145 according to the question. And this is our second equation. So I would like to subtract equation 2 minus equation 1, right? So we're subtracting equation 1 from equation 2. A minus A is 0. 20 minus 8 is 12. 12d. This is equal to 145 minus 61, that is 84. And if you divide both sides by 12, d will be equal to 7, right? So we have that d is equal to 7. Then we need to find a as well. We can use this equation. So a plus 8d is equal to 61. So wherever we have d, we are going to substitute it with 7. So this is a plus 8 multiplied by 7 equals 61. 8 multiplied by 7 is 56. So a plus 56 equal to 61. To find a, we can subtract 56 from both sides. Therefore, 61 minus 56 is 5. So a is equal to 5. So we have d and we have a. So let us apply our formula for finding the sum of terms of arithmetic progression. Sn is equal to n divided by 2 multiplied by 2a plus n minus 1 multiplied by d. This is the formula. So n is what? 48 according to the question, because we are looking for the first 48 times. So S48 is equal to 48 divided by 2 multiplied by 2 times a. A is 5, then plus n is 48 minus 1 multiplied by d, which is 7. All right. Yes. 48 equal to 48 divided by 2 is 24 multiplied by 2 times 5 is 10 plus 47 times 7 is 329. 329. Together we have 339. So this is 224 multiplied by 339. And once you multiply this, you're going to get 8,136. 8,136. This is the sum of the first 48 terms. And we are done with the A part. Now let us move on to the B part, where we asked to evaluate this definite integral. So the B part, we are asked to evaluate the integral from 0 to 2 of the function 2 over 3 x squared plus 5 with respect to x. This is equal to, this is constant already, so we bring it down. Once you integrate x squared, you have to add 1 to the exponent. It is going to become 3, then you divide by 3. So this is simply 1 divided by 3 multiplied by x to the power of 3 plus. Once you integrate constant, just attach that variable x. So we have 5x. The limit of integration is from 0 to 2. All you have to do is to plug in 2, subtract, plug in 2, plug in 0, sorry. So this is equal to, the whole of this is 2 over 9. X is 2 to the power of 3 plus 5. X is 2. The minus the whole of 2 over 9. 0 squared, because we are replacing the variable with 0 again. Then plus 5 multiplied by 0. The whole of this will give us 0. So let us pay attention to this one. This is 2 to the power of 3, which is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. Divide by 9 plus 10. Right? 9 times 10 is 90 plus 16 is 106. So this is 106 divided by 9. Final answer. So once you evaluate this, you're going to get this. 106 divided by 9. As simple as that. Question number 10a, we are asked to copy and complete the table for the function x squared plus x minus 12. Already we are given some of the values. The limit is given from -4 down to 4. That is for the values of x. And we are given 4 other values of y, and we are asked to compute for the rest. Then the B part, we are asked to use a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on x-axis and 2 centimeters to represent 5 units on y-axis to construct the graph of this relationship, y equal to x squared plus x minus 12. Then the C part, using the same axis, draw a graph of y equal to 2x plus 1. Then the D part, from your graphs, determine the roots of the quadratic equation x squared minus x minus 13 equal to 0. And lastly, we asked to find the minimum value of y from the quadratic graph. All right, we are going to start with the first one, where we asked to copy and complete the table. But I would like to suggest something here. Do not use this type of table because you have to show all workings. Instead, use this type. You see that? We are going to write x here and write y here to the bottom. And remember, the limit of x is already given from -4 down to 4, right? So we have -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. This is already given. Then you need to fill out these 3 terms. That is x squared, then x, then -12. You should know that -12 is constant, So we are going to fill it all across. All right, something like this. So what happened if x is -4? -4 squared will give us 16, right? Then x is already -4. So we have -4 here. So to find the value of y, all you have to do is to compute for these three terms. 16 minus 4 will give us 12, and 12 minus 12 will give us 0, right? Then you move to the second one when x is -3. -3 squared is 9. Already x is -3. Then you compute for these three terms to get the value of y. That is 9 minus 3 is 6. 6 minus 12 is -6. Then when x is -2, we have -2 squared, which is 4. This is -2. 4 minus 2 is 2, and 2 minus 12 is -10. Then when x is -1, -1 squared is 1. Then this is -1. 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 minus 12 is -12. Then when x is 0, 0 squared is 0. This is also 0. 0 plus 0 is 0. Minus 12 is -12. Then when x is 1, 1 squared is 1. This is 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. And 2 minus 12 is -10. So this is -10. When x is 2, 2 squared is 4. Then this is 2. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 6 minus 12 is -6. Move down here when x is 3. 3 squared is 9. This is 3. 9 plus 3 is 12. And 12 minus 12 is 0. Move down here when x is 4. 4 squared is 16. This is 4. Add these two together, you get 20. And 20 minus 12 is 8. So we have just completed the table and we're good to go. Then the B part, we asked to use a scale of 2 centimeters to represent 1 unit on x-axis. Already I have my graph here. On x-axis, every 2 centimeters should represent 1 unit. So you can see that 1 centimeter, 2 centimeter, we have 1 unit. 1, 2, we have 2. 1, 2, we have 3. 1, 2, we have 4. And if you move to the left, we have 1, 2, this is -1. 1, 2, this is -2. 1, 2, we have -3. 1, 2, this is -4. All right. But they said that we should use 2 centimeters to represent 5 units on what? On y-axis. 2 centimeters to represent 5 units. 1, 2, 5 units. 1, 2 plus another 5 making 10. 1, 2, that is 15. 1, 2, this is 20. You can leave it like this. Come down here. 1, 2, we have -5. 1, 2, we have -10. 1, 2, we have -15. So next, because they say we should construct this quadratic function, right? Already we have our table here. So what happened when x is -4, y is 0? So that is what we need to locate. -4, 0. This is -4. Where is y equal to 0? Exactly on the point. So that is on the line horizontally. Then next, when x is -3, y is -6. So -3, -6. This is -3, y is -6. Already this is -5, -6. We have 2 small points after, because every 2 small lines represent 1 unit if you count. Then we go back again. When x is -2, we have y to be -10. That is -2, -10. This is -2, y is -10. This is where we have -10. Let's continue. Then -1, -12. This is -1. Let us locate -12. You know that this is -10. So we need 4 small lines extra, right? So let me zoom it a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 4. somewhere here. Then when x is 0, y is negative 12. When x is 0, y is negative 12. This is exactly where x is 0, so we need to locate negative 12. Negative 12, the same point with the previous one, right here. So what happened when x is equal to 1? When x is positive 1, y is negative 10, right? So 1, negative 10. This is where we have 1, y is negative 10, this is negative 10. When x is 2, y is negative 6. When x is 2, y is negative 6. This is 2, y is negative 6. This is negative 5, so we need 2 small lines extra somewhere here. When x is 3, y is 0. When x is 3, y is 0. This is where x is 3, y is 0. That is on top of the line somewhere here. And lastly, when x is 4, y is 8. When x is 4, y is 8. So this is exactly where we have 8. All right. Next, we need to connect all of these points together in order to construct the graph of this function. So we have successfully constructed the graph of this function. Then next, using the same axis that is on the same graph, draw a graph of y equal to 2x plus 1. So that is our next target. So the C part, we asked to construct the graph of y equal to 2x plus 1. We have x, we have y here. All right. Let me choose point to the left-hand side, maybe negative 4. Negative 4. So if x is negative 4, we have negative 4 times 2, that is negative 8, and negative 8 plus 1 will give us negative 7. So y will be negative 7. And don't forget, we have another important point, which is the y-intercept. That is exactly where the line crosses y-axis, and it is at what? X equal to 0. So if x is equal to 0, what happened? We have 2 times 0, which is 0, plus 1 is 1. So 1 is y-intercept, and you can clearly see that here. And next, I would like to take the last value here, which is 4. Very important as well. So 4 times 2 is 8. 8 plus 1 is 9. So I need to construct a graph of this. So when x is negative 4, y is negative 7. So let me use blue marker. We have negative 4 here. We need to locate negative 7. This is negative 5. For negative 7, we need 4 extra small lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then the second point is when x is 0, y is 1. This is where x is 0, so we need to locate 1. This is 1 somewhere here. Then the last point here is 4 and 9. We have 4 somewhere here, so where is 9? Y will be somewhere here. Remember, we have 8 very close to that point. So now let us connect the 3 points together. All right, so you can see that this is the graph of y equal to 2x plus 1. Remember that the previous one, which is the quadratic, is a graph of y equal to x squared plus x, then minus 12. So we're done with this question. Now let us move on to D part. Then the D part, we asked to find the roots of the quadratic equation x squared minus x minus 13 equal to 0 from the previous graphs. That is the 2 graphs we have constructed. All right, let me just copy this one. So the D part, we would like to find the roots of this quadratic equation without forming new table. We have to use the previous graphs. So how can we do that? We need to find which function that can be added to this function to make it equivalent to the previous function. The previous function, remember, for this graph is what? X squared plus x minus 12. So I would like to take this function x squared minus x minus 13 and think of what I can add to it let me choose a certain variable like a, so that it will be equal to the previous one, which is x squared plus x minus 12. So once I obtain the value of a, we are going to graph it and notice the point of intersection between a and the previous quadratic graph. That is what we are going to do. So we can easily cancel x squared from both sides just by subtracting x squared on both sides, right? And again, we can take this 2 times to the other side, leaving only a since we are looking for a. So a will be equal to, as negative x crosses over, it becomes x. As this crosses over, it becomes positive as well. And already we have x minus 12. So you can see that x plus x will give us what? 2x. And 13 minus 12 will give us 1. So this is e. So we need to construct the graph of 2x plus 1. Then we notice the point of intersection between this graph and the previous quadratic graph. But if you observe, we have already constructed the graph of 2x plus 1 previously. Just remember it is right here, right? And it is said to be this linear graph. This is why the examiner said from the previous 2 graphs. So we need to find the points of intersection. So you can see that we have a point of intersection and we have another point of intersection right here. So let me construct a dotted line, another dotted line here. So these 2 points are said to be the roots of that quadratic equation. And you can see that we have negative 3.1 something and we have 4.1 something. So we can clearly say that the roots of x squared minus x minus 13 equal to 0 are negative 3.1 and 4.1 approximately. These are the roots. Then the last question here, we asked to determine the minimum value of y, that is the e part. And what is minimum? Minimum is nothing but just the turning point. So e, y is equal to, let us go to the graph and notice the point, the turning point. So probably you can see that this is the turning point, right? This is the turning point. That is the lowest value of y, which is at this point. So if you observe, since our graph is not that accurate, you can just pick the point. And this is probably at negative 12.5. So therefore, the minimum value of y is negative 12.5. Negative 12.5. And hence, we have just answered question number 10. Question number 11a reads, construct a quadrilateral ABCD such that line AB is 6 cm, line DB is 7.5 cm, angle DAB is 60 degrees, line DC is 7 cm, and lastly, line AD and BC are parallel to each other. Then the B part, construct a circumcircle to touch the points A, B, C. A circumcircle is a cycle that touches what? The vertices of a figure. Then lastly here, we ask to calculate the circumference of the cycle. Correct to the nearest whole number. All right, let's get started. The first thing you need to do before you start construction is the rough work. They said it is a quadrilateral, but you should notice this thing. These 2 lines are parallel. So if we have something like this, this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. They said that line AB is 6 cm, so you should label this as 6 cm. They said that line DB is 7.5. Why is DB? It's a diagonal line, 7.5 cm. They said that angle DAB is 60 degrees. DAB, so we are talking about this angle A. This is 60 degrees. They said that line DC is 7 cm. Line DC is 7 cm. And what else? They said that these two lines are parallel. So if they are parallel, if these two lines are parallel, you should mark them like this to indicate that they are parallel. No matter where they get to, they will never meet. And if they are parallel, this angle, this exterior angle must be 60 degrees as well, because it must be equivalent to this one. We call them corresponding angles. All right, we are done with the A part. Then the B part, we're asked to construct a cycle such that the cycle touches what? A, B, and C. Where are A, B, and C? You can see them here, these three vertices. To do that, you can simply bisect this line perpendicularly, that is line AB, and do the same thing for BC. You bisect this line, you divide it into two equal parts. Then you notice the point of intersection between the two lines. This is L1 and this is L2. Then you should place the pointer of your compass on that point of intersection. Then extend the radius to either B, A, or C. Something like this. Then you draw a cycle. It must touch A, B, and C, definitely. You're done with this part. Then you move to the last part, which is calculate the circumference of the cycle. So you have to measure the radius of the cycle. From the center, let me call it O, to C, OB, OA is equal to the radius. Then you measure it. Then you calculate the circumference is given as what? 2 pi r. And you're good to go. So let's get started. Bring out your ruler. This is my ruler. Measure 6 cm. This is 6 cm, but you can extend it to the side a little bit because we are going to construct another angle here, remember. So take out the ruler and label this as AB. Next, we are going to construct angle 60 here. So bring out the compass. This is my compass. Place it on A. That is, the pointer should be on A. Then extend the radius a little bit and construct an arc to cut line AB and extend it to the top a little bit. Something like this. Then take the pointer to the other side where the arc cut line AB. Then bisect that previous arc. Something like this. Use your ruler, connect point A and this point of intersection between the two arcs. So you should know that this particular angle is 60 degrees. If you like, you can write it. So let's write it. I remember that line AB is 6 cm. So let me label it as well. This is 6 cm. Next, we are going to construct angle 60 here externally so that the line will be parallel to this one. So let's do that. Bring the compass again. Place it on B. Then cut this particular line. Then extend it to the top a little bit. Then take the pointer to the other side where the arc cuts the line. Then bisect the previous arc. Something like this. Then connect this point and this point together. All right, something like this. Then you should know that these two lines are now parallel because this is 60 degrees as well. Next, they said that from B down to D is 7.5 cm. So we are going to use our compass and measure 7.5 cm on the ruler. So this is our ruler. Bring the compass. Place the end at origin, that's 0. Then measure 7.5 cm. So this is roughly 7.5 cm. Then place the pointer on B and cut this line. Something like this. Then use your ruler, connect this point and B together. Something like this. So this line is now 7.5 cm. You can write it. This is D, call it D. Then bring the ruler again and measure 7 cm because from D to C is 7 cm. So where is my ruler? This is my ruler again. Where is my compass? This is the compass. Bring it to the point O. then measure 7 cm. So this is 7 cm. Place it on D and cut this particular line. So now connect the 2 points together. So from this point to this point is 7 cm. I should know that this is our C. Then we are done with the A part. Then the B part, they said that we should construct a cycle such that the cycle will touch A, B, and C. And how can we do that? To do that, you have to construct two lines which are perpendicular bisectors of AB and BC. So let's start with AB. We are going to bisect this line perpendicularly and divide it into two equal parts. So let me bring my ruler. I would like to utilize this arc because I don't want to have much arcs. Something like this. Draw an arc to the bottom. Then take it to the other side of B. Then cut the previous arc. This one, I let it cut to the other side. All right, something like this. Then you can see that we have 2 points of intersection, one here and the other one here. Draw a straight line to cut it through. Something like this. Then do the same thing on this line. Bring the compass, place it on B, then extend the radius. Make sure that the radius is more than half of the line. You see, at least it is more than half of the line like this. Then draw an arc to both sides of line BC. One here, and construct the other one to the other end, and one here. Then take the pointer to point C, then cut the previous arcs. You see this one, then this other one, then connect the 2 points of intersections. So we can call this one L1 and call the other one L2. Then just observe the point of intersection between the two lines. This is that. Place the pointer of your arc on that point of intersection between the two lines. Then extend the radius to either A, B, or C. Then construct your cycle. Can you see that the cycle touches A, B, and C all together? This means that our construction is almost accurate. So you are done with the B part. Then the C part, we ask to calculate the circumference of this cycle. To do that, you need to measure the radius of this cycle. You should know that a radius is the distance from the center of the cycle to any part of the circumference. So I think we can do something like this. This is a radius. Let us measure it. Remember, I have my previous compass, which I have used. I can simply place it on my ruler to measure the length. You can see that it is approximately 8.1 cm. This is 8.1 cm. So you should know that this is 11A and B. Then the C part, we ask to calculate the circumference, C, which is equal to 2 pi r. In Nigeria, we commonly use 22 divided by 7 whenever the pi is not given from the question. So this is equal to 2 multiplied by 22 divided by 7 multiplied by the radius. Remember, the radius is 8.1 cm. So this is 8.1 cm. We have 2 multiplied by 22 multiplied by 8.1. This is 356.4. Then we divide the result by 7. This is 50.91, but they said that to the nearest whole number, so this is going to be 51 cm. And this is all about question number 11. And question number 12 is under statistics. We are giving scores of students here in tabular form. We have the marks in percentage. We have the frequency. We asked to compute for the mean, the median, and the mode. All right. The first thing you need to do is to recompute the table here in this manner. You can see we have X, F, fx, cf, lcb. X here stands for the midpoint. The midpoint is nothing but the average of every single class limit here. F stands for the frequency, which is given already. Fx is the product of the midpoint x and the frequency. Cf stands for the cumulative frequency. LCB stands for lower class boundaries. All right, let's start with this first one, x. To find x, we have to take average of every single class limit. Let's start with the first class limit, 1 to 10. The average will be 1 plus 10 divided by 2. 1 plus 10 is 11, and 11 divided by 2 will give us 5.5. So we write 5.5. The next one will be 11 plus 20, which is going to give us 31, and 31 divided by 2 will give us 15.5. So we have 15.5. But what you should understand here is what is the class size. The class size will always be this minus this, this minus this minus this. You can see that. Or this minus this minus this. In either way, you have to get 10. So the class size is 10. So you can keep on adding 10, 10, 10 here. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in 6 different places. So you can see that this plus 10 will give us this. And once you add 10 to this one, it becomes 25.5. 25.5. Add 10 here, you have 35.5. Add 10 again, we have 45.5. And lastly, we have 55.5. Then we need the frequency, which is already given. We have 26, 36, 38. 26, 36, 38. 30, 15, and 5. 30, 15, and 5. Then we need to take the product of x and f. Let's start with the first one, that is 5.5 multiplied by 26. That is exactly 143. Then you take this one, you multiply, you have 15.5 multiplied by 36. That is 558. 25.5 we multiply by 38. That is 969. We take the next one, which is 35.5 multiplied by 30. That is 1065. Then we take 45.5 multiplied by 15. That is 682.5. Then lastly, we have 55.5 multiplied by 5. That is 277.5. Then cumulative frequency. The first cumulative frequency is equivalent to the first frequency as always. So you write 26 here. Then you take this 26, you add it to 36. That's going to give us 62 exactly. Then you take 62, you add it to 38, that will give us 100. Then you take 100, you add it to 30, that will give us 130. 130 plus 15, that is 145. And lastly, 145 plus 5 is 150. All right. Then lower class boundary. To find the lower class boundaries, we have to subtract 0.5 from every single lower class limit. So if you take this one, you subtract 0.5, you're going to get 0.5. Take the second one, which is this, subtract 0.5, you're going to get 10.5. Remember, we have the same class size. If you keep on adding 10, 10, 10, because from here to here, we have a difference of 10. So we have 20, we have 30, we have 40, and lastly, we have 50. All right. So we have just finished computing our table. Let's start with the first item here, which is the mean. So Roman number 1, the mean, which is denoted by what? X bar. This is equal to the summation of fx divided by summation of f, all right? This is the last cumulative frequency, 150. Therefore, if you add all the frequency together, you have to get 150. So this is 150. That is the total. Then we need the total of fx as well. So let us add them all together. We have 143 plus 558 plus 969 plus 1065 plus 682.5, and lastly we have 277.5. Altogether we have 3695. This is the fx, summation of fx. So we substitute. This is 3695 divided by 150. If you divide by 150, you're going to get 24.63, but they said to the nearest 1 dp, right? Correct to 1 decimal place. So we are going to write it as 24.6. We are done with the Roman number 1. Then Roman number 2, we're asked to compute for the median, right? Median. So let's do that. We have a formula for that as well. The median is equal to the lower class boundary of the median class plus summation of f divided by 2 minus cumulative frequency before the median class divided by frequency of the median class multiplied by the class size, right? So let's substitute. First of all, we need to locate the median class. The median class position, so let me say position of median is equal to n divided by 2 position, and our n is 150. Remember, that is summation of f. If you divide it by 2, you have to get 75. So 75th position. So let us locate it using the cumulative frequency. So you have to find out where 75 lies. You can see that this is less than that. This is also less than 75. So it must fall under 100. So this is our median class. All right. So what is the lower class boundary of the median class? It is what? 20.5. Therefore, the median is equal to the lower class boundary of the median class, which is 20.5 plus this divided by 2. Summation of f, remember summation of f is what? 150, and once you divide it by 2, you get 75. Or should we write it all? So let's write it 150 divided by 2 minus cumulative frequency before the median class. So this is the cumulative frequency before the median class. That is 62. So minus 62 divided by the frequency of the median class. This is the frequency of the median class, that is 38. Multiplied by the class size, which is 10. All right, so this is what we have to compute. This is equal to 20.5 plus, this is 75. 75 minus 62, that will give us exactly 13. Divide by, this is frequency of the median class. It should be 38, please, sorry. Then multiplied by 10. So this is equal to 20.5 plus 130 divided by 38. So 130 divided by 38 plus 20.5, that will give us 23.92, but 1 decimal place is 23.9. So this is the median. That is the median score. And lastly, we asked to compute for the mode. So the mode is equal to lower class boundary of the model class plus delta 1 divided by delta 1 plus delta 2 multiplied by the class size. I will explain all of this. Delta 1 stands for the frequency of the model class minus the frequency before the model class. The same thing with this one, right? And this is frequency of the model class minus the frequency after the model class. And this is the class size. Let us locate the position of the mode. Remember, mode is that class with the highest frequency. And you can see that 38 is the highest frequency right here. So it has the same position with the median. So lower class boundary remain 20.5. So this is 20.5 plus frequency of the model class minus the next frequency before the model class. This is the frequency of the model class minus the frequency before the model class. That is 38 minus 36. 38 minus 36 divided by the same thing with this one, right? 38 minus 36 plus this one is the frequency of the model class minus the frequency after the model class, which is what? 38 minus 30. 38 minus 30 multiplied by 10. So this is equal to 20.5 plus 38 minus 36 is 2 divided by another 2 here plus this is 8 multiplied by 10, right? This is 20.5 plus 2 multiplied by 10 is 20 divided by 2 plus 8 is 10. So you can see that 20 divided by 10 is 2 and 2 plus 20.5 is 22.5, and hence this is the mode 22.5. And this is all about question 12, which is our last question in this paper. Thank you for watching. Do share to your learning colleagues and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting videos. Bye bye.